Oh, I'm already dreading this one for 3 reasons. Reason the first, my jewellery box is in here and this is full of lots of small fiddly things that are going to take ages to go through. The second reason is because some of these were gifts. That always like makes things tricky when it comes to decluttering. And the third reason then is that some of the rest of the stuff in this unit belongs to my husband, and decluttering my husband's stuff, always a nightmare. But I do have like a little trick that I utilize when it comes to decluttering either my husband's stuff or kind of joint stuff that I need his input on, something that has served me well over the years and has helped him to let go of a lot more than he might under his own volition. This is the next stage in the whole house declutter that I am doing, and this unit is next on the list. Let's go. Hey, how's it going? It's Laura, and if you missed the kind of part 1 to this video, I will link it for you, but basically I am doing like a crazy declutter. It is part KonMari method, it is part Swedish death clean, it is part moving vlog, it is part silent to-do list, it is like just whole house declutter. It's all the things basically. I'm going through my entire house and just getting rid of almost everything. We are at some point in the future going to be moving back to Ireland, and I am basically preparing for that. I know it's going to be it's not going to happen for a while, but I also know that decluttering an entire house is not going to happen overnight. So I'm starting the process now. There's a whole explanation in the other video, so if you haven't seen it, go watch that. Right now, I just want to dive straight into this because I know it's going to take a while. I also know I'm going to get lots of questions about this jewellery box. It's not technically a jewellery box, it's a makeup box, but I'm gonna link it in the description for you. Yeah, it's got like 6 drawers, but the first 4 are actual jewellery stuff, and then the bottom 2 are just random bits and bobs. Like, I dread to think what is in there. Okay, no procrastinating. Let's get cracking. I don't even know why I have so much jewellery because I barely wear it at all. But some of it was gifted, some of it I just picked up over the years. A lot of my jewellery is kind of cheap and cheerful. I don't really go for anything fancy. But yeah, the fact that I don't really wear jewellery all that often makes me think that I could stand to get rid of a lot of this. Then, oh, I don't know, I'm kind of attached to a lot of it. But yeah, the questions I'm going to ask: does it spark joy? Do I want my daughter to have to deal with this after I'm gone? Some of this she might actually be delighted to have. Is there some way that I can dispose of it responsibly now instead of letting it end up in a landfill? Do I want to go to the trouble of packing this up and moving with it? I'm gonna try and be really strict with myself. You know, when I was younger, in my 20s, even in my teens a little bit, I was big into fashion. That's when a lot of this stuff actually would have been bought, but I really need to get real with myself about what I'm actually going to wear. I barely even leave the house, let's be honest. I mean, you have to be going somewhere to wear these earrings. Okay, let's just get stuck in. You can do this, Laura. You can do this. Already harder than I anticipated. This ring, I love it. Will it focus? There you go. It's really nice, it's sparkly, but it's kind of dull now after years and years of use, and a lot of the little stones in it are missing. Excuse my black nail. I had a super glue incident. I don't want to talk about it. This one's gonna have to go, which is a pity because I do love it, but it was a cheap ring. I am a sucker for like a chunky, cheap cocktail type ring, and I just don't know what to do with them. Like, I don't really wear them anymore. In fairness to me, I loved this ring so much when I bought it that I went back and bought another one. I have since decluttered the other one because I realized I haven't worn them in like a long time. But I've only got one left. I think it might be time to part with it though. I've had it for a long time. I mean, I could force myself to wear it. I definitely could, but is it worth it? I think I probably need to get rid of these too, but oh, rainbow. My hoops, I'm definitely keeping my hoops. I do wear these pretty regular, both sets. Maybe I should just like start a maybe pile. Quick decisions on everything else, get my maybe pile, and then come back to it so that I can get through the bulk of this stuff without being slowed down like 2 minutes into the job. These are magnificent. Don't know why I haven't worn these before. They're fabulous. But again, like, where would I be going in these? Invite me to your wedding, or your, like, I don't know, baptism, your child's baptism, or, well, probably a little bit blingy for a baptism, but like your gala event, like your black tie event. See, I'm kind of struggling because I'm like, these are fabulous, but where would I ever wear them? But does that matter? Okay, I'm nearly done with the first drawer. Here is the trash pile. It's what I'm going to be donating. I actually got rid of much more than I thought I would. These are beautiful earrings, but they're just kind of slightly old-fashioned. There we go. Yes, they're really lovely, but just not really my style. Some Christmas jewellery. This guy I really love, this little snake, but he turns my finger green. This is everything that is going. And then this is what is left. I mean, hardly anything, really. I have some studs here. I only kept one little Christmas pair. My hoops that I wear reasonably regularly. My fun ones. Kept these. Honestly, don't know when or where I will wear them, but you just never know. These, my brother actually bought me these pair. Kept these. Think I'll wear those tomorrow night. Slightly dangly ones. This bracelet, actually, I thought I would be able to let it go, but as soon as I picked it up, I was like, absolutely not. This is staying. It's a tiny little carved horse. He's a keeper. This I agonized about for a long time. It's just like a cheap plastic one, but I really love it. This one, my husband bought me this years ago in Greece. We were on holidays there. It was actually our last holiday before we moved to the States. I really need to wear it a little bit more often. That's one of the good things about going through your stuff. You kind of remember things that you had maybe forgotten about or haven't worn or used in a while, and it can serve as a nice reminder. I hope I'm not jinxing it now, but the next drawer should be much quicker to go through because there's less in them. This was awkward because lots of fiddly little earrings and things, but I'm pleasantly surprised by how much I got rid of. I think I made a sizable dent there. Let's move on to the next one. Feeling maybe a little overly optimistic and confident now. This drawer is going to be tricky because these ones, most of these, were gifts. Some of these are sentimental. Like this is pretty tarnished now, but it's a little key necklace that I bought myself from Tiffany's in New York. I think it was the first time we went there, but I was like starting out on my legal career, had like basically more money than I'd ever had in my life. And it still wasn't a lot, mind you. I bought like the cheapest one that I could find there, basically. But yeah, it was kind of just a symbol of me starting out on my career. One of those things that I bought for myself as a sort of you've made it gift. That sounds silly now that I say it out loud. Other ones though, like this is pretty tarnished as well. This is a snowflake. My husband bought me this years ago, and I have worn it a few times, but I don't think I'm going to wear it again. But it is lovely. Why is this so hard? Oh. Hello. Here's one I know for sure I can get rid of. This one. I like it because it's kind of long, so it hangs down like to here, and I think that's a really nice length. But I just never wear it. I don't wear it, so that one can go. On these as well. This is another one. This was also a gift for my husband, and I love it. Swarovski. I wear it all the time, but there's a tiny little stone missing from it. So this I think is actually going to go on my silent to-do list. If you missed my explanation from the last video, a silent to-do list is basically things that you own that are telling you what to do. Like they're basically a to-do item, they're a task. Sam bought me this the first time I met his parents. They lived in England at the time, we lived in Ireland. We went over to visit them, I went over to meet them. We were strolling around the town, I spotted this in the Swarovski shop. Didn't buy it at the time, and then we were at the airport ready to fly home, and there was a Swarovski shop in the airport, and Sam went off under the pretense of like getting some food or something, and he came back with this necklace. This is definitely sentimental. So hard, it's so hard. Okay, I'm gonna go through this. I'm not gonna let this stall me now. I'm so close. I've only got 2 drawers after this, and they're 2 drawers of junk, basically. Stuff that I think I'll be able to get through pretty quickly. There's a lot of sentimental stuff here. So many memories. I've actually managed to free up a whole drawer because these are all the necklaces that I'm getting rid of. This one I love, but I just never wear it. It's all of these coins, it's all jingly jangly. It's just a bit too chunky for me now. Same with this one, this choker that I bought many moons ago and like loved and wore a lot when I was younger, like in my teens, but like I'm past that now. Of the ones I'm keeping then, this I absolutely love. I hardly ever wear it, but it's stunning. This was a gift from my mother, really love this one. This is another one of those sentimental ones, like I don't know when I last wore it, but another one of those like reminds me of a particular time in my life. And then this is another sentimental one. It's a little pentagram that I wore a lot when I was a teenager and even into my 20s. And then the chains, the more delicate ones, most of these were bought for me by Sam. This one I've already told you about. Sam. And then my mother-in-law bought me this. They're tiny little tags that she bought me when Scout was born. So it's got her name on that one and then her date of birth. Down here, it's just like a little charm. It's supposed to go, it's also from Tiffany's. My husband bought me this also. So I'll probably buy a little chain and pop that on. And the same, he bought me this, so I must have snapped the chain years ago because I don't know where it went. So yeah, I'll buy a new chain for that. So that has gone on my silent to-do list, those ones down there. Oh, these last 2 drawers, it's like a random mishmash of stuff, some of it crazy. When I tell you this is the most random assortment of things, my gallstones, my wedding jewellery. I don't know if I'll be able to part with these, honestly. Well, let's go through all of this stuff as quickly as we can, basically, at this stage. What is this? Oh, my driver's license, my first driver's license, where I had the crazy eyes. Like, the lady who was taking my picture must have thought I was a lunatic, but I was trying to look all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and I just ended up looking psychotic. This shouldn't take too long to go through. Maybe famous last words, but we'll see. This was my grandfather's watch. I mean, it's pretty much unrecognizable now because I've changed the band on it so many times. It's had multiple new batteries, and even the insides had to be replaced at one point because it just stopped working. So really the only original part of it is like the face of it. Well, my grandfather gave me this, I don't want to say on his deathbed, but he was dying, and because I was young at the time, I mean, I wasn't that young, I was 11 when he died, but I didn't realize at the time that he was dying. So, which is kind of, I don't know, like I knew he was sick. He was in hospital for a while, but I get that he was the first person that had ever died on me. So I didn't, like when he was sick, I didn't make any sort of connection that he would die. Anyway, I remember him giving me this watch. He asked me to go into his room, get this watch. He told me I could keep it. I was thrilled with myself at the time, but I didn't realize, gotta get emotional, didn't realize the significance of it. So, yeah, that is very near and dear to my heart, as he was. Yeah, first person I lost that I loved. My first tongue ring. To lighten the mood. These, okay. I'm going to text my husband about these. Sunglasses, I don't know if they suit me. I have no, like, I'm not good at that sort of thing, so I'm going to text him a picture. Let him decide if it's a yay or a nay. So here we go. There's one. Here's the other pair. And I'll just get his yay or nay. I can tell myself just by looking at the picture that these are a nay. These are like, nope. And the green ones, I think those are going as well. Oh, okay. My husband says yes. And now I'm in a quandary. No, I think they're a no from me. I have one of these heads. The shape of my head. Hats and sunglasses. I find it difficult to get ones that kind of suit me. Okay, my husband doesn't know what he's talking about. So this stuff here is going to be trashed. I don't need it. These nail polishes are just like so old that I can't really donate them. These can probably be donated. These are relatively new polishes. I am going to donate these. And then this little sunglasses pouch. These then are sentimental, so there's no reason to keep them with my jewellery stuff. It sounds crazy to say the gallstones are sentimental, but they are. Okay, this was kind of the start of my, I don't know, like my health journey. So doctors couldn't figure out why I was in so much pain, and like one of the potentials was gallbladder. So I went in, had my gallbladder removed. Unfortunately, that did not solve my problem, but yeah, it was kind of the start of my health journey. And these then I've just popped in the little Ziploc bags to keep them safe, and I'm going to leave them in the basement with my other sentimental items that are tucked away. Managed to empty out an entire other drawer, which is great. And then this one here has been slimmed down. That's a jewellery roll that my friend bought for me years ago, and it's really beautiful and I love it, and it's just handy for travelling. One little case for sunglasses if I'm travelling, and then the wedding stuff. I've made good progress there. There's just one or two things like sitting on top of the jewellery box now and something down the side that I want to go through really quickly, and then we'll tackle the rest of the unit. I have been looking for these keys. I just don't even know what half of them belong to, but okay, I need to start labeling things. The problem is I think most of these are keys to things in Ireland, so it's not like I can go and test them on doors here or anything. That was just silly of me. Silly of me not to mark those in any way. Okay, so all I took out of there was keys, which can be dumped, and a whole pile of euro, which will go into my parents' room for the next time they're visiting. They can pop it in their purse and bring it back with them. And then just what went back in here was the lighter for candles, but I am going to use up my candles and then not buy any more. Get rid of that. And this is to tune my harp, which is over here. And then these keys. I'm gonna bring those home with me next time I'm home, test them on all the doors, and yeah, get rid of any that don't go with anything. And now let's move on to this drawer. The trick here is to lay everything out, take a picture of each one individually, and send it to the other person. So this is a tip that I have found incredibly helpful when I am decluttering either my husband's stuff or stuff that is kind of jointly owned by us. And this means that one, he is kind of removed from the process, so it's easier for him to make an unemotional decision. And two, I'm the one doing all the hard work, so all he has to do is give me a yes or no. It's very simple. And then three, because he's physically distanced from it, the chances of us getting into an argument about anything are slim. I just text him a picture of each thing. I say, these are some things that I think we could let go of. He says yes or no, and I just accept and honor his decision, whatever that may be. Even if I don't agree with it, it's his stuff, so I don't get final say on any of this. But it does make it easier for him to say yes if I just literally snap a picture. The other two drawers are full of his stuff. I'm not going to go through those. They're things that he wears on a very regular basis. But this bottom drawer has not been touched in I don't know how long. And then while I wait for him to reply, I'm going to go through it. Well, that's geeky. Silent to-do list is WD-40 these ninjas, but there are literally 1, 2, 3, 4 things in here, so I can go through these really quickly, though 2 of them belong to my husband. This is actually stuck. Okay, oh, there we go. I don't know why that was immovable. Okay, an old pair of headphones. I think you'll be fine getting rid of those. A book, and then bedclothes. I don't even know it's showing up on camera, but there is like a big stain here. These have been sitting in here for I don't know how long. I don't know what size bed they go with. Handy little tip for you though, if you are storing bedclothes together, just like fold them all up and then store them in the pillowcase, so they're all nice and neat in a little pillow shape, but it keeps everything together. I think that will probably wash out. I think that's just a water stain. I think I watered my plants once and one of them leaked down the back, so it obviously just leaked onto this. Decisions. Okay, he has said no to donating the first thing. We're not off to a great start here. Let's move on to the next thing. Okay, he has decided to get rid of these, which is great, and then I have decided to actually keep and just wash these. I'm going to put this stuff back and then I'm going to tackle the top, and that's everything done, and I already know from here what is going and what is staying, and then I'll share my silent to-do list with you. But let's get this stuff back in, and this will round out the job. Why did I sound like a really cheesy TV presenter there? This will round out the job. filthy. The only thing I know I'm getting rid of from here is this tiny little spray bottle that I was using to mist my plants, but do I bother misting my plants anymore? No. The other thing that is going to be used up is this candle. And then my plants are definitely staying. One of them will need to be repotted because it's just gone a bit crazy. And then at the end here, I've got gifts that Sam bought me over the years for our anniversary. So fun little fact, we do the traditional gifts, you know, like year 1 is paper, etc, etc. Year 10 was tin. Yeah, let's get these back up. This is all the stuff that is going to be trashed / recycled. Small enough pile, but still, you know, reasonable. This is all the stuff that is going to be donated. That's a pretty sizable pile there, I feel. Pretty happy with that. And then this is the stuff that is staying but will go elsewhere. This is a lot of stuff to be going. Really, really happy with that progress. Now obviously the job isn't officially done until I actually get rid of all of this stuff, so while you watch me do that, and before I share the wonderful before and afters, I am going to share my silent to-do list and my future home list with you. So silent to-do list from this project: number 1, polish my tarnished necklaces. Next up then was to buy at least 1, if not 2, new white gold chains so that I can attach those tiny little trinkets that were left over. I also want to see if I can get my Swarovski necklace fixed. I want to WD-40 the hinges on that door, and then I need to repot my spider plant because it has definitely outgrown that pot, and there's soil just like spilling out all over the place anytime I try and move it or water it or anything like that. It's very frustrating. So in terms of future home then, the only one that I have from this is to have space in my future closet for my jewellery. I will add, so the last videos when I tackled this bedside table, quick check to actually make sure that it is still looking neat. I'm like, did I leave a whole pile of junk on it there? No, it's still looking good, still functioning good, but I added 2 more things to my list. One was blackout windows, curtains, blinds or whatever in the bedroom. We've got these wooden slatted blinds, and while they look lovely, 1, they are a nightmare to clean. So I'm not taking them off and cleaning them, I'm just not doing that. 2, they don't block out a huge amount of light, and I don't want any unfinished wood. Okay, this is another one where I surprised myself. I got rid of way more than I thought I was going to get rid of. I knew it was going to be a huge job, but I just thought in terms of like time it would take to get through anything. I genuinely did not think I was going to get rid of as much as I did. Even though it is stuff that is behind closed doors, there is a feeling that you get when you have decluttered a space. You feel lighter, even though you can't see necessarily, you know, when you walk into a room, it's not immediately apparent, but there is a feeling of lightness, a feeling of spaciousness, and I can't describe it because it doesn't make rational, logical sense. I can't see the difference, but I can really feel the difference. It just goes to show that like you can be decluttering for years, which I have been, and still find so much more stuff to get rid of. And I think that's as you go along, you not only strengthen your decluttering muscle, but the less you have, the more you realize you can live with less. That doesn't really make sense, does it? But when you live with less, you realize that you're totally fine, and that you can whittle down even more. You know, when I had a huge amount of stuff, like way more than I have now, even though I still have a lot of stuff, I thought back then that parting with things would be difficult. But when I got rid of a few things, I realized, well, that wasn't so hard, and most of the stuff I never thought about again. Like, I will be sometimes scrolling through the photos on my phone, old photos, and I'll think, oh yeah. Like the other day, I was looking back through a photograph of me and Scout, and I was wearing a top in it, and I have absolutely no recollection of owning that top. But obviously I did at some point. But there are so many things that I've got rid of that I just like never looked back. And when you gain that confidence, like knowing that you can let go of things, knowing that you will be totally fine, that like nothing bad will happen to you, it spurs you on to get rid of even more stuff, because you know you'll be okay. And you won't miss any of it. It's so funny to me because even though I think now, like, wow, I've decluttered a lot, I know a year from now, 2 years from now, I'm going to be able to whittle down even more. It's so interesting to see what that looks like. But for now, I am thrilled with the progress I've made. If you haven't seen the first video in this series, go watch it. And if you haven't subscribed, do, because the next video will be coming out pretty soon. Next video is where I'm going to be finishing off this entire room. There's like 2 or 3 little spaces that just need to be finished up. They should be quick and easy, but I feel like I say that every time, and then like hours later, I'm like still in the thick of it. Thrilled with this. Until next time, go míle maith. Agus feici mé sibh go luath. Slán.